Welcome to the week. This is going to be an amazing week. And I look forward to working in it, and I hope you do too. And I think one thing in particular that we should be thankful for and consider as we charge into this week is failure. Why be thankful for failure? Failure in my life and in my business, in my multi-million-dollar business, is one of the biggest teachers that teaches us how to succeed. You're like, what the heck? When you fail, how do you learn how to succeed? How do you move forwards from that failure? And what do you mean by that? What I mean is the biggest lessons that you learn in business and in growing anything is when you fail, and a lot of times when you fail big. Now, you shouldn't ultimately fail to the point of you completely destroy the organization, or if there's some kind of moral failure or some kind of ethical failure. Not talking about those failures, but I'm talking about you genuinely tried to do something and you really put your back into it. You really put some elbow grease into this thing, and it didn't work. It didn't turn out. You didn't make the sale. You didn't get the contract. You didn't make the profit, and it stinks. And then you reevaluate that situation and you find out where you went wrong, because obviously that's not going to be sustainable in the long run. And so the thing to be thankful about is failure, so that you can learn the lessons that you pretty much only need to learn one time. And once you've learned it for the rest of your business life and for the rest of your career, you know that lesson. And the cool thing is you will never repeat that if you're genuinely an intelligent person and you want to actually grow and to prosper. Because when you win, when you just win, you're on top of it, you've got it all covered, you're winning and winning, it's very easy to become complacent and to not realize that there are great improvements that you can and should be making. And when you're in that cycle of winning, you just hit it, everything seems to turn to gold. And in those times, you're actually not quite as good as you think you are. But the opposite is true when you're in that trial, error, and re-implementation mode, because you've tried, you've made some mistakes, it didn't go well, but you're paying attention to those mistakes and you're making new implementations that will work in the future and cause you to be able to prosper in the long term. And that's why it's sometimes so much more productive to be working through that stage of failure. That's my word for the week. That's why this is going to be an awesome week, because even when you fail forwards.